Hi, beautiful people. Welcome to the Fort Salem Library, where we read you your fanfiction. So sit down or don't, relax or don't, and enjoy these stories in a way you have not before. We at Fort Salem Library do not own Motherland Fort Salem or any of the related characters. The Motherland Fort Salem series is created by Elliot Lawrence and owned by Freeform. This story is a work of fanfiction and is meant for entertainment only. We are not making any profit from these stories. All rights of the original Motherland Fort Salem story belong to Freeform. We also do not own Waiting for Midnight or any of its original characters and storylines. We did, however, get permissions from the author to read their story. This story was created and written by Silver_Cleo, and you can find the link in our show notes. This story is being read to you by Britt. Waiting for Midnight. Sarah narrowed her eyes as she looked over the crowded bar, attempting to spot her red-headed girlfriend, who was somewhere in the room with her friends. This would be her first time with Tally and her friends in a social setting, and she had wanted to make a good impression on them. Right now she was failing, being unable to see the love of her life. "Excuse me, are you lost? Because you look like an angel who's just fallen from heaven." A voice sounded from behind her, neither distinctly male or female. "I am not lost, and I am no angel," Sarah replied, eyes still scanning the bar for her girlfriend, or any of her girlfriend's friends. She was just about to turn and search the other side of the room when she spotted them in a corner of the room, huddled together in a booth. Tally turned to catch her eye, and Sarah watched as a smile grew on her girlfriend's face as she made her way over. "Hey, beautiful," she said once she got to the table, bending down to give Tally a kiss. "Hey, you made it, just in time. Abigail was about to get the next round of drinks," Tally said, moving over in the booth so that Sarah could sit down. "Do you want anything?" Tally asked her raven-haired girlfriend. "I'll take a whiskey neat, please, Abigail," Sarah said, looking over at the young witch who was at the other end of the booth, directly opposite to her. Abigail nodded and stood up, Adil standing with her to help her bring the drinks over to the group of 6. "So, how do civilians celebrate the New Year? I've never celebrated before," Sarah asked the table. "Most people just eat food, drink alcohol, and stay up until midnight. There isn't a set way to celebrate," Rael said. Finishing the last drops of her drink, Sarah nodded. "There's no traditions to uphold at all?" the ex-general asked, looking at Tally, who looked down and blushed. "There might be one, where you kiss your partner at midnight to bring good luck to the relationship for the next year," Tally told her, looking up at her girlfriend. "That sounds like something I'd like to participate in," Sarah said quietly, bending her head over to speak directly to Tally, who blushed red again. The hours passed quickly, and the drinks flowed freely, just like conversation. Laughter grew from the table as the couples drank more and became free of their inhibitions. Each one of the 3 couples not so sneakily sneaking away to make out in a dark corner as the night grew on. As it neared midnight, the group became drunk enough to dance. Even Adil, who was usually sensible, had decided to relax and let go to enjoy the night. Tally pulled Sarah back to the table. "I got to tell you something," she almost shouted over the music, slurring slightly. "Go on then, my love," Sarah said, wrapping her arms around Tally's waist. "I love you, and I want to kiss you." "At midnight," Tally said, whispering the last part in Sarah's ear, wrapping her arms loosely around Sarah's neck. "You do?" Sarah asked, receiving a nod in return. "Well, then I guess you're in luck, because I love you, and I want to kiss you at midnight as well," Sarah whispered to Tally, placing a kiss on her witch's mark. "Oi, lovebirds, the countdown's starting," Abigail shouted from the table at them over the music. They all turned towards the large screen displayed behind the bar, which was showing the Times Square celebration. Crowds gathering in the streets to count down to watch the ball drop and the fireworks to start. The music stopped in the bar, the only sound coming from the TV. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! The crowd shouted and whooped. Tally pulled Sarah's head back to her from watching the other couple in their group kiss to pull her girlfriend into a kiss. "Happy New Year, my love," Sarah said, breaking the kiss. "Happy New Year," Tally repeated with a smile, snuggling into Sarah as they moved back to the table to wish the rest of their group a Happy New Year. Please find the fanfiction you just listened to on Archive of Our Own and leave the author some love. Without them, this wouldn't be possible, and we want to thank them from the bottoms of our hearts for creating these amazing stories and keeping the show alive.